Hi everyone, Megan here with ICE Magazine, and I'm very excited to be doing this interview today with Pat Fitzgerald, the Executive Vice President of Richardson Electronics. Pat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Megan. Good to talk to you.
Yes, you too. So we're excited. I want to get right started on this. We are going to be talking about the new product that you all have, and that is the ALTA750. So what is the ALTA750?
Yes, so we're very excited. So the ALTA750 is the first all-new CT tube coming from Richardson Healthcare, and it is designed as a form, fit, and function replacement for the Toshiba CXB 750D. And that tube is sometimes also known as the Varex Imaging MCS 7078. And it has a wide variety of replacement applications, ranging from the Toshiba Canon Medical Systems Aquilian series, all the way through the first generation Prime CT scanners.
Great. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about your team's facility there at Richardson Electronics?
Sure. Well, Richardson has a long history in manufacturing and distributing vacuum tubes. So we are involved in power grid tubes and magnetrons and hydrogen thyrotrons, klystrons, and just a whole amazing variety of vacuum tubes that are made here. And CT tubes are just the newest ones. So you know, over our 70-year history, we've distributed tubes, we've manufactured tubes, and here at our headquarters, where we have a 250,000 square foot manufacturing facility, we have everything vertically integrated that would be needed to make CT tubes. So everything from machining to chemical processing to high temperature vacuum furnaces, all the way down the line to clean assembly rooms and test equipment. And finally, the CT tubes, every CT tube before we ship it to the field is final tested on an OEM CT scanner. So we have OEM CT scanners in-house that serve as a final test bed to make sure the product will work well when it gets up to the customer site.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you all have a ton of options there.
We do.
So the next question I'd like to go in is, how do you believe the Alta 750 will help service providers?
Right. Well, good question. So, the mission of Richardson Healthcare, since we began about 4 years ago, has been to make alternative service possible for these scanners. So, what we already do is we provide replacement parts and we provide CT service training for engineers, engineers that may come from healthcare or hospital sites, or engineers that may come to us from third-party service providers. And there are a number of companies that operate in that type of space. What makes Richardson unique is that we're making investments in really high-value components like the CT replacement tubes that have made it, the lack of a third-party alternative has made it challenging for people to service these scanners so far. So by making these investments, we make it possible. And then, we're providing the Alta 750 tube to our partners in a variety of ways. So on the one hand, they can purchase it an as needed basis. So as they have tubes fail, we will sell them tubes transactionally. And we also make the tube available as part of P3 partnership agreement, which is basically a parts contract where we will provide all of the replacement parts and tubes that they might need for a particular scanner in exchange for a fixed monthly fee.
Great. I'm glad you touched on the P3 program. I know a lot of people were interested in that.
Yeah, we do see quite a few people, particularly end users, who are interested in knowing upfront what it's going to cost them to take on the in-house support of the scanner, and it's really a great product, and we're getting a lot of attention with it.
Great. Now, how does the Alta 750 fit with the rest of what Richardson Healthcare offers to their customers?
Sure. So, the great thing about the ALTA750 and what we're doing in, say, the Toshiba CT and the Philips CT space is we're very focused. And there are a lot of companies in the replacement part space that are, they're trying to be all things to all people. And, they cover all modalities and they cover all brands. And, we here at Richardson think that's just a formula for ultimately the customer, being a little disappointed at some point. They're gonna have a gap in what they can do. And instead, what we've done is we've really tried to provide a laser focus on the spaces that we're providing. So, we have an entire program, for instance, around the Toshiba Canon CT support where we've got, the parts, we've got the service training, we've got 24/7 tech support, and now, just the latest piece of that puzzle is the new replacement tube. And we think that's really what is going to enable people to be more successful in that space, particularly around Toshiba and Canon CT.
Well, that's great to hear. It really sounds like you all are very detail oriented, and that is very helpful, I believe, in the customer in choosing the option.
Yes.
Great. So, a little more questions on these CT tubes. So, why this CT tube first?
Well, as I said, because of our really intensive focus in that Toshiba Canon CT space, this tube was really the number one request we were getting from customers that, they were servicing a number of these scanners, but what kept them from going deeper and taking more of them under contract was not having a good third-party tube alternative. So, given what we were already doing with replacement parts and service training in this space, this seemed to be a very logical place to start.
Great. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the testing process?
Sure, absolutely. So, what we've done to try and assure, when we reverse engineer a tube, the first thing we do is we get some samples of that tube. We get in-house, we get some of the OEM CT scanners, and we begin to analyze exactly how that tube functions. So we start from the beginning that we're going to design a form fit function replacement for the original OEM tube. And once we had that tube ready and available, to begin with, we began testing it on OEM CT scanners that we had in-house. And so we had three 64 slice OEM CT scanners here at our center in LaFox, and we had up to four 64 slice OEM CT scanners down at our facility in Fort Mill, South Carolina, where we do our training and part support. And so we had really quite literally a 24/7 testing program running from last November through about early March, where we were just running tubes constantly. And then at the point that we were confident we had done all the internal testing that we wanted to do, we then took the tube out to customer sites. And so we began installing it in clinical sites in mid-March, and we ran in clinical sites all the way through the release of the product at the end of May. And then another thing that we did, which my team has done before, we contracted with an internationally known physicist named Dr. Robert Dixon, who's associated with Wake Forest University of North Carolina. And he did an independent study for us so basically having an OEM CT scanner, having a brand new OEM tube, and having one of our new Richardson ALTA tubes, and doing a side-by-side comparison to ensure that the compatibility, the dose radiation output, everything like that was exactly the same.
Great. Now, I'm smiling because the comments want to know what's next for Richardson Electronics and how do they purchase this Alta 750?
Well, terrific. So in terms of what's next, we're very excited, and having released the ALTA750, we're eager to take on new challenges. So First step will be, we filed our initial report with the FDA, so we're free to now market this tube in the U.S. and any other market where U.S. FDA is all that is required. But we're going to be focusing on the global registrations that we need to take it to other markets, CE mark, for instance, in order to be able to take it to Europe and other registrations that are required around the world. And then we're working with our customers to decide what will be the next new tube platform. So will it be a Philips tube?
That's
Will it be,
exciting.
yeah, et cetera. And in terms of how to purchase an ALTA750, the best way to reach our team is to either email us at healthcare@rel.com, RELL, or on our 24/7 parts and technical support line, 704-739-3597.
Great. Well, we'll put all that information in the comments so everybody can go ahead and go purchase that Alta 750 that I know they're all dying to get to. And this was a great conversation, Pat. I appreciate you so much taking the time to talk with ICE Magazine.
Same here. Thanks, Megan. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Pat. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.